Hanover Fair 2014. Welcome to the group exhibit Hydrogen Fuel Cells, and this year we are adding batteries to the mix. We are celebrating our 20th year anniversary, this year with 158 exhibitors from over 22 different countries. Now today we are going to discuss the topic of miniature smartphone charger for unlimited mobile power. And for that, please welcome with me on stage Mr. Thomas Pessara, a representative from eZelleron GmbH. Big hands. Please have a seat.
Thank you very much.
So before we are going to discuss the about technical products, could you please give us a little introduction on the company? It's eZelleron, on the startup company.
Yes. First of all, a very good morning also from my side. My name is Thomas Pessara. I'm here to speak for the company eZelleron. And eZelleron is developing and producing fuel cell systems. And fuel cell systems of all kinds of power classes. So as you can imagine, emergency power generators and also that small system we are talking in a few minutes about, up to bigger power generators, emergency power generators, and also what we are working on is empowering e-bikes, also thinking about and working on range extenders to empower electrical cars, up to full fuel cell engines for fuel cell cars.
So you have a full range of products. Now, this year, what did you bring to Hanover Messe?
Yeah, what I brought today, and also what is since Monday transparent, and we are presenting on the Hanover Fair. By the way, the first time in Europe, is a small, very small fuel cell system, and it's, let's say, designed to empower smartphones. So what you can do with this is you can charge your smartphone, and this in a very, very efficient way. Most of you have very oftentimes the problem that you are traveling or you are around in the world, maybe also at home very oftentimes. This I learned also, and I'm also using this at home in the meantime. You are looking, you're getting out of power for your smartphone, for your camera, for your MP3 player, even also for your tablet, and you don't have access to the regular power grid. And this device is designed to solve exactly this problem. And I would also like to present how it works before we come to the
I'm excited to see how it works.
So it's actually a handheld device, and there is everything inside what you need to charge your smartphone. And it's equipped with also a small USB connection. Okay. So everything what you need for this is actually a cable to connect your smartphone with. Accidentally, I have this with me.
Oh, surprise!
In order to show this. So you're just connecting your cable to the system. And the other side to your smartphone, this I also have with me. In this case, I switch it on. And you
let me see.
Immediately see
90% charge.
It begins to charge your smartphone. Maybe also let me add some features of this system. So there's a tank included, and it's fueled with very simple lighter gas. So everything what you need is it will be delivered with a fuel tank, and everything what you need is this system. And if you want to recharge it, you can use just normal, everywhere around the world available lighter gas, which is consisting either of propane or butane, or a mixture of this. And you can simply, if this is after a long time of using this, I come to that point, empty, you can simply recharge it, refill the tank with this gas. And the power this system is providing is good for 10 full charges for your smartphone. So that means you are broadening your reach tremendously with such a system. And also what really is important is it's of very light weight. It's now fueled, and it's about 200 grams.
Can I check the weight?
Yeah, you can check.
Yeah, indeed. That is lighter than an iPhone. It is lighter than a... Yeah, almost nothing.
Yeah. It's about 200 grams. And also, who is interested in something like equivalent figures, this is good, or let's say the same as about 1 kilo of modern batteries. So if you think of something like taking a decision of buying a power bank, so a battery compared to this, then you have a much higher reach with such a system and of very lightweight. So the factor is about 5. And if we think of the reach itself, so how often you use it and how long a filling will reach, then you're talking really, if you charge it every day, fully from empty to full, you have 10 full charges, means at least 10 days, which is in the daily use something like the extreme, right? Okay. So what we believe in average, you come, let's say, to 20 days or to 30 days even. And then the next step, if you think about being longer away from the normal electricity grid, you take one of this with you, and you are already talking about an equivalent of 3 kilos of batteries. So this really makes a major difference in reach and also in freedom and autonomy you get from this.
This seems to be perfect also for me traveling around the world, and I can use and buy these bottles everywhere. So it's really an average customer product. Now I'm interested on the fuel cell architecture that you use inside.
Yeah. So most of you know that there are different kinds of fuel cells in use. There is on one hand side the PEM, the polymer membrane fuel cell, and the SOFC. And this is an SOFC kind of fuel cell. Actually, it is an SOFC. We are using a bit of different kind of materials, and the advantage of this fuel cell is, and this is why it's so suitable for mobile and portable applications, it's quick startable. This is one major difference to the SOFC you most probably know. It's very important if you have such a system in your hand that it starts immediately to deliver power. You don't have to wait whatever 1.5 hours or 2 hours until it's heated up and you get energy out of this.
Now the disadvantage with SOFC cells is that the duration is limited due to the switching on and off. So how did you solve this issue?
This system is offering yet unknown comfort. So the difference in difference to other systems, it's let's say to a major extent cyclable. So you can start this also for mobile applications, really important. You can start on, off, on, off. So cyclability means on, off, on, off. And for this we have some like you won't use it. So the robustness of the fuel cell is so good that you will not be able to use this system until it's not working anymore. The same counts for the working hours. It's a full metal-based fuel cell inside, so it's really robust. And the number of hours you can use it is extending, let's say, everything what you have ever seen. And it's beyond 3,000 working hours. Most of you know what this means. A car, for example, is built. An engine is built on 3,000 working hours, and this is extending this by far.
Okay. So right now, I invite the audience to ask any questions at this time. We are having a public forum, so if you do have a question at this time, you can just easily raise your hand. I'll be watching the audience to see if you have a question. Now, let's check how much is your phone charged by now. Oh,
oops.
Yeah, it's already at 93%, so proof it is working. Now, you mentioned that I think this product is genius, and me as a traveler, I could really use this. My question is, do you already distribute it to markets, or who is your target market?
Yeah, the market is, most probably you can imagine that the market is huge for such applications. There are two kinds of, let's say, there are several possibilities where you can use this, but just think in terms of how many people in the world are using a smartphone. And these are around 2.5 billion currently. And just last year, 1 billion of smartphones have been sold. And all these users are on a daily basis, on a permanently basis, using, let's say, their smartphones and using lots of electricity. And also the next generations of smartphones is also one important topic to consider, are, let's say, step by step needing more energy and at the same time getting less weight, and most probably to the disadvantage of the battery. And then, let's say, connected to this is that about 500 million of these people, so about 20-25%, do not have regular access to the electricity grid. This is really important to understand. But so this is one part of the major market we have around the world. And the second thing is that what we believe is, and what I also, I mean, I use this on a daily basis now, and what I see is that I get something like, an autonomy and a freedom, which is, somehow making me using this everywhere. I mean, I step into the car, and I have an electricity plug in the car, but still I put this next to me on the seat, because I'm using this everywhere. It's so convenient and it's so easy to use that I do not consider anymore to even get up from my seat in the living room and go to the electricity plug and or charge my iPhone with this.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that the electricity usage for the upcoming phones is going to be more and more. Now, are you considering that as well in the development of your product to give it a more cycling, recharging amount of levels?
Yeah, of course. So this device is now designed to charge smartphones. But of course, you can also charge different electrical appliances. I mean, I mentioned already the MP3 player or a camera. But of course, you can also charge your tablet with it. I mean, once you are getting out of energy with your tablet, then you can use it, of course. Of course, it takes a bit longer to charge it. Yeah, this is clear because it's designed to charge a smartphone, but already now, it's able to charge your tablet also.
How long does it take to charge my phone with it?
The phone is taking a certain kind of, or let's say, a certain power from the net. Yep. So the phone actually is telling how much energy it needs. So that means that wherever you plug it in, also in a normal electricity grid, it's been after 3 hours or something like this, it's fully charged, from 0 to 100%. And this here is absolutely the same. Oh. There is no difference in this.
So this is like a portable plug?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
So if I want to buy this, what can I do?
I mentioned already that the market is quite huge for that. And there are also, we are now in contact of many potential customers on a daily level. Not only here, everywhere where we show this, many people are asking this question, of course. I wouldn't say not a difficulty, but it's a challenge, of course, to somehow serve this big market, let's say, in a very short time. So what will happen in the next year is we will launch this product to the market in next year, in the middle of next year. Until that time, we will be, let's say, very hard working on putting the production facilities in place and also, let's say, taking the final steps for the production. So the production will start very soon. But the first customers will be most probably not this, let's say, something like single, so B2C we say, something like single retail customers, but more business customers. So we think about very much, and we are also having in contact with companies like mobile phone providers or similar.
Are you going to launch it on the European market or are you going internationally?
Naturally, also what most probably you can imagine is that, let's say, the access to the electricity grid in Europe, I mean, take Germany or take France or take the Netherlands, is quite, there's a big coverage for this. I mean, you don't have so much of need, but where this is not the case is the market in Asia. And also, so this is one thing, and the second thing is also that the electricity provision is not as regular as it is here. So it's oftentimes the case that the power grid is shut off because of natural disasters, because of, I don't know what, tsunamis, and also that countries are changing their electricity production completely, shutting down atomic reactors and changing this. And there the market is the biggest, so that we think that most probably this is also that what we are, let's say, working on. We will launch the product first in Asia, but it will also very soon come to Europe. It just takes some time.
So, and in terms of being environmentally friendly, I have to double check. So in here we find gas, is that right?
Yeah.
So what is eZelleron's statement? Is that environmentally friendly as well?
Of course. Yeah, first of all, there's a fuel cell inside. So the, let's say, the chemical reaction of the fuel cell makes it possible that you don't have any toxic emissions anymore. So if consider that maybe 10 people are sitting in an office and they all have such a device, it's comparable to a lighter. If 10 people in the office are lighting their lighters, you won't get any problem, let's say, with CO2 emissions and with toxic emissions. Most probably not. Toxic emissions, you can completely forget with this. You won't have them anymore. Okay. And CO2, of course, you have. And then it's dependent a bit of the efficiency of the system. Fuel cells in general are quite efficient. So they are making the most, let's say, out of that energy which you put in. And therefore the CO emissions are also comparably low. I mean, they are not zero, but they are much lower than compared, for example, to let's say, conventional emergency power generators.
So that is at least a start. For the future, what comes next and what else is eZelleron offering to customers?
Yeah. So first of all, of course, we will also develop the device itself further. So we also believe that in very few times, because of also the shortage of life cycles in general, we will develop also, of course, this device further. And the target is, of course, also that and always that same size, more power. This is the first thing. And the second thing is also, this is also really important to understand, is that the fuel cell itself is very much suitable for all kinds of different mobile and portable devices. And so we are working also on high power classes. And one thing which is really also maybe necessary to mention is a power generator which is already some like providing energy for all household appliances. I mean, exclude an oven or something which is really then needing lots of energy, but something like 200 watts, 250 watt devices is already helping households, yeah, actually to come through the day without any electricity, without any access to electricity grid. And this is something like a box. It's a bit bigger than this, of course. Something like a box which is about 4 liters. And with this, you have already some like a device where you can really say, if you want, you can say goodbye to your electricity grid and use this as a portable device. But also, I mean, what I also want to mention is the suitability is also very good to empower e-bikes, for example. We are also talking about some like very similar power classes, and the connectivity, the scaling up, makes it possible also to get really some like to broaden your reach of e-bikes very much. But also we are working on fuel cell engines to empower electrical cars. This is also really very important to mention. There's also efficiency really makes the difference to normal combustion engines which we have today in use. Yeah.
We have a question from the audience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Pessara. I think this is a very sexy device, and that's what I always say, is we have to make fuel cells sexy. So this is the first device I see I think I really want to have. Yeah. I've heard you are not offering it right now at the European market, but when you will, how much will it cost, and do you take orders from me, by extent?
Actually, yes. So I mean, we are here to show this product on the fair, and we are here, let's say, with our order books. So if you want to order something, let's say this special device, you can come to our booth, and we will take a look at this and we will discuss it with you. Price?
So is it affordable?
Yeah, actually it is affordable. It depends, of course, very much, let's say, on the volumes you sell. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And the first devices, of course, will be a bit more expensive. But for the final and end consumer market, we are talking about something like 150 to 200 euros. Yeah.
Okay. One more question from the audience.
Hi. We have seen similar devices of such a charger from Japan, also from some Asian countries. As far as you can share with us, how much of a technology differentiator between your products and those that we have probably seen as an early prototype?
Yeah, this question I have been also asked last week on another presentation. And the major difference is that you can buy it. It's available, it's ready to be used, and you can buy it. And this we don't know from any other, let's say, fuel cell powered system. This is the major difference.
Okay. At this time, I'm deeply sorry. I have to cannot take any questions anymore. I have to close the discussion, but it can be continue at booth B50 of eZelleron. Yeah. So thank you for this lovely presentation. I can't wait to go to Asia to finally get my charger, hopefully next year. So thank you, Mr. Thomas Pessara, representative for eZelleron. So big hands, please.
My pleasure.